Alright, well hello everybody, it is your favorite vampire Aveline here. And today we're continuing more with Hercule Poirot's The First Cases. Now, last chapter we left off with a bit... what's the best way I can put it? A bit of a fisticuffs? Oh no, that's... oh well, it'll come to me later on. That's how ADHD brain works. Anywho, in the last chapter, the Major actually got into a fight with the Major got into a fight with Gideon, and Gideon pretty much knocked him on his ass. Why can't I find a guy like that? Why do I even want to find a guy like that? I don't know. Anywho, and now, later on, during dinner, the Major has been murdered in his study. Spooky. Not really spooky. Hi, Mina. That's my cat, Mina. Don't mind her. I know she sounds like a squeaky door. She's upset because I'm getting close to her with my chair, and I'm trying not to hit her. I'm trying to adjust so that way I can better see my screen. Anywho. I mean, I don't know if y'all know. Anywho, there's Archibald. And now, we can take a look at the room. So, let's begin. The Major's corpse. Oh, excuse me. A single stab wound. I would expect to see a number of puncture wounds if the culprit had come here with the intention of murder. A result of the confrontation with Monsieur Demure. Although only one punch was thrown, there is substantial bruising to his face. Ooh, which means Gideon's got quite a hard hit to him. I must use all my deductive skills and experience here. Besides the stab wound, there is little to go on from his body. And we now have a new mind map. I was brought here to find the blackmailer, but discovering the truth behind the Major's death must take precedence. Or... perhaps they're connected. Who knows? Who knows indeed. Alright. Damp floor. What could have caused such a large damp patch on the floor? And I didn't mean to step in it. Great. I'm supposed to be a detective. I'm not supposed to, like, you know, contaminate the crime scene. Alright, out of the damp floor. There's several other things. We'll take a look at there right now. It's quite severe. Such a shame to see such a beautifully made carpet ruined. Surprising that it has been left visible. Surely it would have been a quick and easy fix. A bulky safe made with security in mind. It's locked tight, but a box of valuables sits on top. Yes, I'm gonna read out every single one. You'll also have to forgive me for the format of my videos. I'm used to streaming on Twitch, but due to, like, issues with my Wi-Fi, I had to move. I can now upload, or I can't really stream on Twitch due to the fact that my connection keeps cutting out. But yet I've got great upload speed. Like the McDonald's internet. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It came with my apartment. Anywho, well, let's continue. A letter? A note is stuffed down the side of the seat. Do not know me, but I know you and your past very well. Years have passed and your actions remain hidden to the world. Actions that would shame even the evilest of men. Those deeds are so heinous, to include them would surely bring a tear to my eye. Now is the time for the truth to be revealed to all. While not one man is to blame for the final outcome, it was you that brought about the final piece to the puzzle, the one that no one else would. If you wish to remain a free man, bill a brown paper parcel with 5,000 francs addressed to Monsieur Dupont, to Barber and Sons Cobbler before closing this coming Wednesday. While there is time to consider your next move, I would not ponder on it for too long. When the world knows of your crimes, it will surely not ponder long on your punishment. So, according to this, the Major was being blackmailed as well. Another blackmail letter written in a similar manner to the ones addressed to Mademoiselle Angeline. Could the Major be hiding a secret of his own? Or is he, in fact, the author of the letters? I mean, the Major... We were hinted at some of the Major's crimes according to Zachariah Demir in Chapter 2. Alright. So. A wallet?
Ah.
It does not look as though anything is obviously missing from it. You got valuables on top of the safe. You've got a wallet that has not been touched, so obviously this is not theft. Ice bucket. Odd to have a bucket this size for such a minute amount of water. The snow continues to bellow in. Why is this window... Has this window been left open? I cannot fathom. Is there anything on the desk that I can look at? No. When I first played this chapter, this was actually the hardest chapter that I had. I'm just, like, trying to clear some of these. I already cleared that. Ooh, that's a nasty dent in the plaster. So, we have the damp floor. Could be from the ice bucket?
Magnifique.
Someone has knocked over the bucket and then repositioned it. Someone besides the Major. The bucket was overturned. We have 2 more links. Mina, where'd you go? There you are. And of course, you're gonna use my work shoes as a scratching post. Why? Black cats. They are not symbols of bad luck. They are not omens of bad luck. They are absolutely adorable, lovable little voids. But they do hold to the mischievous personality. Wouldn't do anything without my baby. Anywho. We have the jewelry box. Ah, shit. I didn't mean to do that.
Come, my little Grey Silence. We must think logically.
Okay, so we managed to figure this. So the bucket was overturned. Why leave the window open, though?
get me any closer to my goal.
Oh. Buttons.
I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a second look at the evidence in front of me.
Okay, I don't understand. What in the heck?
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
There are signs that something occurred in the study between the Major and our unknown fugitive. There's evidence of a fight.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
The obvious items of value have not been taken. Why would the killer not take a reward? Why and...
I must act on thought and fact, not on impulse.
The valuables weren't taken. No. There we go.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
So it's definitely clearly murder and not just straight up opportunity. If someone had gone to the lengths of scaling the wall, they surely would have taken some valuables. This is not a simple burglary. I can confirm that the window was not the intruder's point of entry. Careless of me not to check the door upon first arrival. Mina? Mina! What are you doing? Silly cat. What else is there for me to investigate? Nothing else. Like it. But I can... Oh! The door to the Major's bedroom. The door shows no signs of forced entry or tampering. Could they have just knocked and been allowed to enter? If that was the case, then that would mean that the Major knew this person.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Evidence shows that a fight of sorts broke out sometime after the killer entered the room, unobstructed. The door from the bedroom to the study was how the perpetrator entered the room, but what I still do not know is, were they invited in or did they slip in unknown? Well, we could probably find that out from dear old Archie. Archie! Could you answer a question or two for me, please?
Anything I can do to help, Detective?
Has anyone entered this room this evening?
Rihanna brought him some ice for his cheek earlier.
And when was that?
When he returned from his cigar outside, he asked for something to be brought upstairs to ease the swelling of his face. He would normally smoke only in here. Lady Vandenbosch doesn't like the smell of his cigars in the public rooms.
Madame continues to rule her home how she sees fit, and it is her prerogative.
Your help and discretion in this matter are greatly appreciated.
Now that I know that the Major was not alone, it is time to search the study further in hopes of finding a clue as to who was with him. Which means we unlock a new mind map. The scene of the crime has been investigated, but it does not show a straightforward series of events. The circumstances around the Major's cigar is one such avenue that requires further exploration. Excuse me. We have the Major's jacket. A scruffy-looking jacket is hanging upon the coat rack. The Major's scabbard is in the pocket. A reasonably full ashtray. I would have expected him to at least clean this out. Obviously, the guy's a little lazy with his cleaning. A discarded towel, folded and unused. No matches remain. So he probably used his last match for his last cigar. Kinda makes you feel sorry for the bastard. Not me. Not me.
Huh.
A rather organized desk containing what looks like important documents. A normal-looking poker stand. Nothing appears out of the ordinary. It's incredibly dirty. The logs are old and covered in dust, which means the fireplace hasn't been used in a while. So... anything else that I can look at? The burn mark on the carpet could be from the cigar.
What a revelation!
The Major was smoking recently, unsurprisingly, and dropped his cigar. What could have lit the cigar? Of course, there's evidence of smoking.
I must take a different approach if I am to uncover the truth.
We have an empty...
Order and method. That is the way to solve the problem.
No. So maybe...
some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
because, you know, as soon as the murder weapon goes missing, it's gotta be with the killer. The Major's knife is missing and his body lies with a stab wound. It could be very well be the murder weapon. It wouldn't be the letter opener. Or the poker. Or, yeah, the fire poker. And we have 2 more links.
Is there something I am not seeing? Is there something I am not seeing?
Wait a sec.
Another success. I never doubted
Neglect,
myself.
of course. I would have expected a Major to keep his belongings in a much tidier fashion. The room hadn't been cleaned, which we gotta talk to Archibald about. And then there's just one more. matchbox, however, was empty. Desk is very tidy. You also have the letter opener for the weapon. First, let's go chit-chat with Archibald. Because it's very obvious somebody had to have cleaned the room.
Anything I can do to help, Detective?
But at the same time, there's also parts of the room that have shown lack of care. For a house that has such high standards, there's a noticeable lack of care taken in here.
As I said, Mr. Hagen did not allow the staff in here alone, besides me. He was very clear on that.
Have the staff ever given him reason to not trust them?
Nothing has ever been brought to my attention, but he was very clear no one was to be in here without his permission.
I suppose it is not unreasonable. I would have thought with his military past he would have kept it immaculate with not a speck of dust or hair out of place. But the fireplace, for instance, says otherwise.
I haven't seen it lit since he has been with us, even in the colder months. It's been in this state for some time.
Your help and discretion in this matter are greatly appreciated.
Yeah, thanks, Archibald. So, now that we got that, the room hasn't been cleaned. The fireplace has been unused for a while. Which means poker.
I cannot
No.
see the logic in this. Perhaps a second look at the evidence.
Come on, think. Major's knife is better as a potential weapon. No. There was no way he could have used the...
Order and method. That is the way to solve the problem.
Just taking guesses at this point. Okay, let's give this a shot.
I must act on thought and fact, not on impulse.
Of course.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
There are no items that could start a fire or light a cigar, so there's no fire source.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
This crime scene has been tampered with. The killer clearly had enough time to cover their tracks.
Magnifique.
There remains no means to light his cigar. Someone must have lit it for him, someone he trusted, but who?
This will not get me any closer to my goal.
Okay.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Someone lit a cigar for him and attacked him when he least expected it. Who could have been so ruthless? Which means the Major knew his killer.
What a revelation.
There is currently no way to rule out the poker being the murder weapon. Poker was cleaned. Also,
Come, my little gray cells. We must think logically. I must take
No.
a different approach if I am to uncover the truth. Order and method.
no.
That is the way to solve the problem.
What am I missing? Of course, I get that far into it and get distracted.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
They lit the major's cigar and, following the brutal attack of the murder, took the time to clean the scene. They were not in a hurry and could still be in the house. How could they remain so calm? Murder weapon remains a mystery. The killer, whose identity is still to be uncovered, must still reside in this house. Come, my little gray cells, let us solve this mystery. Another mind map. I was not expecting to have a murder case on my hands when I arrived, but this will merely be another test for the great Detective Poirot. Alright. There we go. Is there anything else that I can check out over here? Anything at all? No. Alright, time to talk to dear old Archie. I keep calling him Archie.
Anything I can do to help, Detective?
I believe I have collected all the necessary information and evidence. I would like to inspect his adjoining bedroom.
As you wish.
This is going to be fun. It is clear the reason for entering the major's study was not to make haste with his valuables. What I must understand is if the intent for murder was there. The study has been manipulated following the major's death, meaning they had time to return to the scene and attempt to cover their tracks. The perpetrator entered through the bedroom. Perhaps there is something they failed to clean up behind them that can make sense of all of this. I should review what clues the study yielded before I continue. Another mind map. If the killer still resides in the house, I must approach everyone with not only caution, but suspicion. Of course. Another letter addressed to the major. It appears he has someone looking out for his business concern with the workers' strike. Felix, I understand that there are a number of business concerns for you in the situation that has arisen within the factories, but I offer this piece of advice. Step back. Monsieur Becker's efforts with the union have finally opened the workers' eyes, and they seek, nay demand, the fair treatment they deserve for so long. The fuel for the fire has already been laid, and the match is ready to be struck. You do not want to be near those flames when they ignite. I know you were once a good, honorable man. I pray that that is still true today. Must review the information that I've gathered from each guest today. There may be something that will help reveal the identity of the letter's author, which we can probably do later on. Of course the major has a bearskin rug. I wonder how many travel expeditions have been planned while enjoying the contents of the globe. It's a hunter. There's another note. A rather threatening letter has been penned, addressed to Major F. Hagen. Dear Major F. Hagen, I did not think I would ever find myself writing a letter such as this, but under the current circumstances, I see no other option. Madame Von de Bush and I have been friends for more years than I care to say. That is why I can no longer sit back and allow your bullying to continue. I am well aware of the companionship you have offered to my good friend over the years. It has been most generous, and without it, I care not to think what would have happened to her, but that does not give you the opportunity to act in such a foul and boorish manner. The day the Viscount passed away, I promised that I would protect both Cassandra and Angeline, and it is a promise I will keep. You were once a major in the British Armed Forces, but your actions have mirrored that of drunken fools who hold no place in our society, let alone Madame's house. Please do not bother yourself with a response. There is not a question that requires an answer, only a hope that you see your errors and adjust them accordingly. The author speaks of bullying, and although no specifics are noted, any form of that treatment towards a woman is not acceptable. Excuse me. I do apologize, I don't mean to cough into the mic.
Aha.
I am not sure how I would fare coming face to face with such beasts. But apparently, the Major is an avid hunter. Alright, hunting rifle. This could be the weapon that brought down some of the impressive beasts that now fill the walls. It seems Madame Vonderbush's heart is a trophy worth fighting over. Major Hagen, I hope you will excuse my bluntness in plain speaking, but there is a matter regarding Madame Vonderbush that requires not only our attention, but a level of understanding and respect between us both. I am fully aware of the help that you have offered to not only Madame, but her family and household. I am also aware that you know of the assistance that I have given to Madame and the Viscount before her. We were friends and business partners, and I felt it my duty to continue to give aid and help the Vonderbush name at the standing that it has always been. Having said that, it is not always as simple to keep business and personal matters separate, and this is how I find myself today. Cassandra and I share a bond that one does not experience often in their lifetime. No doubt you have felt similar, where what may be lust to one man is love to another. While I respect you for your efforts in the war and the generosity you showed Madame, I must request you step back from what you consider to be your duties at the house and allow for Madame to make her choice, the choice that I believe is obvious to all parties. I trust this correspondence remains for your eyes only, and a gentleman's agreement is enough to guarantee our arrangement. Ooh! Woo! Ooh! Ooh, hoo, hoo. I bet you more than anything he did not take kindly to that. It is a rather bold move to challenge the Major as they have, especially with his position at the house. What if they had no choice but to challenge his position? Though I have a feeling I know who wrote that letter. Alright. I do believe there was something over here. The window.
Huh.
Fallen snow has laid a beautiful white blanket over the countryside that surrounds the house. Plants lean and rely on each other to survive, something we as a species could take a lesson from. It wasn't really important, but at the same time, might as well. And then let me guess, is there one for the grandfather clock? No. Alright. Time to put together what we have learned. Starting to wonder.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Margot was quick to speak of her protection over Cassandra. She must take this role very seriously. So that must mean that this letter, the threatening letter, was written by Margot. And then you have the curious letter. Which... as we've probably noticed, that Ernesto... Anna? No?
No, my little gray cells. We must think logically.
Oh, wait. Love was a red herring. There we
Things are
go.
beginning to become clearer.
If there is something between Ernesto and Madame von de Busch, Archibald would surely know of it. We'll talk to Archie in just a second. Hmm.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
The only other Union supporter I know that is passionate enough to write such a letter, Monsieur Gideon. So, now that we figured that out, hop over here. And now we can chit-chat with dear old Archie again.
Certainly. What do you need?
What do you know of the Major's relationships with the guests?
The male guests, I believe, he knows in a business capacity. But I'm afraid that's all I know. I will add, though, he has not always been the easiest man to get along with.
Of course not. Because the Major's a grade A asshole, as I stated in my last video.
You are talking from personal experience of working for him.
I am head butler to the Van den Bosch family in their home. He has made himself comfortable, but to me he still remained a guest.
Woo! Archie's like, oh hell no. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that.
There's not much I couldn't tell you. As soon as he found out my father was in the army, his stories never stopped.
I am sure an officer of his rank must have many a tale.
A tale is a fitting description. Not so much a pinch of salt, more like a bag is needed listening to them.
Oof. So in other words, the Major liked to talk about the war and his time in the army.
You've lost me, Detective.
I struggle to believe they were both helping her out of the kindness of their hearts. Could they have been fighting for the Madame's affection?
Ah, that didn't take you long to spot.
Monsieur Sterling's lack of real response give me all the answers I require.
Your help and discretion in this matter are greatly appreciated.
Alright. Of course, the Major was generally disliked. Cassandra had multiple admirers. No surprise the Major would embellish his war stories or make them about his accomplishments.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
Now, I know of Ernesto's feelings towards Cassandra. He must be the one behind the letter.
Magnifique.
It seems the guests were not fond of the Major. Well, of course the guests weren't fond of the Major. Again, he's a grade A asshole. So multiple guests were threatened by the Major, which means that the killer could still be in the building.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
It's highly impossible one of the guests is behind the murder. This warrants immediate investigation. Based on the evidence seen in the Major's study and bedroom, as well as what I have learned from speaking with the guests, Monsieur de Silva, Comtesse de Vos and Monsieur Dumire weren't concerned in further investigation. And now we gotta talk to dear old Archibald again. Archie!
Certainly. What do you need?
There is nothing further for me to investigate in here. Would you kindly gather the guests for me?
As you wish, Detective.
It seems there is no simple explanation for what happened here. The Major's popularity amongst the guests does not seem very high. There are still many questions that must be asked. And now we have hit Chapter 4, the interrogation.
The guests are waiting for you, Detective. I informed them of what has happened, but divulged no details.
There goes my opportunity to catch one of them off guard, no matter I have more than one weapon in my armory.
I am most grateful. Madame Van den Bosch is here also?
She's in her room with Miss Angeline. It may be better to speak with them privately tomorrow.
Oui, merci. I shall come find you again once my questioning is complete.
The guests' alibis are my priority. Once I can confirm their whereabouts this evening, I can understand who had an opportunity. Which this unlocks a new mind map. I have my lead suspects from the evidence at the scene of the crime. Perhaps those will change after speaking with them all. Alright. The chance to play is very tempting, but I shall save myself the embarrassment. Why would you be embarrassed of playing the piano? What's this over here? Eh? Oh, hey! I'm glad to see there is something for all taste. Perhaps I will be able to enjoy a drink later. I didn't realize that that was an achievement. I ignored the bottle on my first playthrough. I didn't even realize. Alright, well, without further ado, I think that's gonna end it for right now. I'm doing this chapter by chapter. So each playthrough is literally me going through the entire chapter. But without further ado, I hope you guys have enjoyed so far. Didn't think that about maybe third chapter in, well actually, this is typical. Usually there's a murder about, yeah, you know what? With most murder mysteries, typically the body gets found about chapter 3 or so. But anywho, if you guys like, leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch y'all later. So later, bye! Mwah!